Now on Nightside, the hunt is on for whoever's responsible for starting wildfires in Spokane.
Today's rain is long gone. We are drying out and heating up. I'll have your first alert forecast.
And a new agreement between a health clinic and Spokane Public Schools could mean your child can see a doctor without ever stepping foot off school campus. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. 2 Spokane high schools will be getting school-based health clinics next year. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna. Kirsten has the night off. Rogers High School already has a school-based health clinic that's been operating since 2019. Tonight, the school board approved to expand that program. New on Nightside, Rania Kaur explains the program and what you need to know as parents.
Aaron, right now, if students want care, families have to find those resources. This school-based health clinic would provide behavioral health, medical, health education, and student services, all at school, all through Chaz Health. The executive director for Spokane Public Schools Support Services says at Rogers High School, in the course of 1 year, they served a couple of thousand kids, and they found that students often don't have established care or a medical provider. Through Chaz Health, Spokane Schools is making it easier for students to get care.
Way they can get that care during the school day. The parents don't have to take off time from work to get their students to the doctor, and really, again, it's a lot of unmet need in our high schools.
The program already exists on the west side of the state. When it comes to parental consent for care, Becky Dowdy says they follow state law.
Age range students are able to access care on their own for some things, but for other things where we need parental consent, Chaz connects with the parent and gets the consent from the parent for the care that we give.
The school-based health clinics at both Shadle Park High School and North Central High School are expected to open early next year. The city of Spokane is providing funding for these 2 clinics that the school district will be matching. We'll be continuing to follow this story and bring you more information. For the latest, you can watch 4 News Now or go to our website at kxly.com. Aaron?
Rania, thank you. The Spokane School Board is asking taxpayers to pass a $200 million bond to improve buildings throughout the district. Tonight, they looked at community feedback as they try to decide how those millions would be used. They are considering 3 different scenarios, but in all of them, replacing Adams and Madison elementary schools and modernizing Gary and Chase middle schools are the priorities. The final decision will be made in November. The hunt is on for the person or people starting wildfires in Spokane. Several fires broke out around the West Hills, causing people to evacuate last week. Written notes were found downtown with threats to burn down Spokane right before the fire started. Almost a week to the day later, more suspicious fires popped up in the same area. Spokane Fire Department is unsure if there's a connection from last week, but all were in the same general area. Tuesday, firefighters responded to a fire on this steep hill in Browns Addition, along with 3 others in the same area. Fires can escalate in just a matter of minutes and force people from their homes.
We've got somebody running around, or at least some people or some persons that are running around starting these fires, and so getting that them identified and taken off the streets, that's quite a concern of ours right now.
People are being asked to stay vigilant and call in if any smoke or fires are spotted. If you have any information related to those suspicious fires, you're encouraged to call the Spokane Fire Special Investigations Unit. Fire danger was raised to very high because of high temperatures and low precipitation in North Idaho. Level 2 fire restrictions were implemented in all 5 Idaho Panhandle counties as a safety precaution. A fire information officer with the Panhandle National Forest said some of the most dangerous fires are human-caused. This is because they're often in locations near people and homes. Some tenants at a Coeur d'Alene RV park were aware of the restrictions and said they were being cautious. The manager said he was making sure all of his tenants knew the rules.
So we just don't want anything that's going to have open flames or create embers or sparks that can get away, especially if as the wind picks up and can send embers and brands away from us to where we may not even realize that we've been part of the problem, right?
Restrictions include no fires or charcoal, no smoking outside or of an enclosed vehicle or a building, and no operating motorized vehicles off designated roads or trails. The use of chainsaws or similar equipment is prohibited from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. Well, it's only going to get hotter and drier from here on out. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with your forecast.
We are done with that rain. It was nice while it lasted today, but the rain is over. Now, tomorrow will be relatively cool. Temperatures actually running below average on Thursday with dry conditions, but we do have a warming trend, and we're going to be back up in the 90s by the second half of the weekend. Here's a look at our satellite and radar, and we did hold on to some showers and thunderstorms through extreme portions of northeast Washington and Boundary County, parts of Bonner County as well. This evening, those have finally come to an end. We are dry and clear heading into the overnight. Winds have died down across the region. We are looking at winds generally in the 10-mile-per-hour range or less, Sandpoint 11-mile-per-hour winds, but those will be calming down as well. Tomorrow, temperatures will still be running a bit below average with a high of 81 degrees. We'll start the day off in the 50s in Spokane, dropping into the 40s in some of the outlying areas. A lot of sunshine, and that is going to be a familiar theme in your 7-day forecast. But we're going to see that temperature jump more than 10 degrees. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. Each year, the Spokane Fire Department puts out what's called a community risk assessment. It gives them a broader understanding of what the biggest risks are and how they can better tailor resources to reduce those risks. Some of the biggest risks are things you might expect, like building fires and wildfires. Spokane sits in a wildfire urban interface, so Spokane Fire recently hired a wildland planner to help with the risks of having developed land mixed with nature.
So we're finding those high-risk areas, working on city properties as well as with homeowners on what they can do to make their communities a little safer.
Now's Derek Dice will tell you all about some of the less obvious risks Spokane Fire has to deal with and how education plays a big role in keeping you safe. It's in his special report tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest. All lanes on I-90 near Tyler are now back open following the spill of a hazardous material. The hazmat spill happened when the driver of a semi-truck had a medical episode and he crashed into a ditch near Tyler last night. That spill was ammonium nitrite and diesel. The crash on I-90 killed one person and hurt 8 others near Moses Lake. Washington State Patrol says the crash happened around 3 o'clock. 2 cars were traveling eastbound on I-90 when one tried to pass the other in the median, then came back into the lane and hit the second car, causing it to break through the barrier into the westbound lane and hit an oncoming vehicle. One person is dead. No word on the other people involved in the crash or their conditions.
Well, time for a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minnesone, and with the downfall of the Pac-12, Washington State is looking to solidify its future. The university has been in talks with multiple conferences over the past few days in an effort to find a new home for Cougar athletics. The Mountain West and American Athletic Conferences were named as possible landing spots for WSU. Both leagues are not expected to provide the same level of revenue as a fully healthy Pac-12 would. Washington State Athletic Director Pat Chun said the university will continue to invest like a Power 5 program.
We're having dialogue with a lot of people in real time, and like I said, and there's still movement, and there's going to be movement. And I remind everyone, the realignment is far from over. It may pause maybe for a season, but as things settle, as new memberships have to adapt or not adapt to where they're at, as TV keeps driving, continues to be a driving force in decision making in these conferences, their realignment is going to continue to happen.
And the Pac-12 has lost 2/3 of its schools over the past year. Coming up later in sports, what ultimately caused the Pac-12's demise? Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. A man accused of shooting his mother and stepfather yesterday in Spokane County appeared in court for the first time today. Charlie Birkland is facing 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder. According to court documents, he was arguing with his mother and eventually pulled a handgun on her and his stepdad. As they turned to run, deputies say he shot them. They were taken to a hospital with serious injuries. They are expected to recover. Housing costs are a major burden on a lot of families right now. How one Spokane organization is trying to help carry some of that burden. Plus, how fentanyl is changing the way paramedics and first responders treat drug overdoses in Spokane and across the country.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Is it your day to water? Know if you are odd or even and be water wise this summer. At Kaiser Permanente, we care for all those who make your family, well, your family. That's why all of us work together to give them the care and caring that any family would. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and serve up great times. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Right now, new patients without insurance get a free full exam and x-rays. Plus, everyone can get 20% off their treatment plan. But hurry, because while these summer savings won't last, the memories you make together will. Aspen Dental. Book today.
Build your deck with PAR and get everyday low prices on Trex and TimberTech composite decking. But shop now and you'll get $100 off TimberTech, Trex, and AZEK railing and accessories with qualifying purchase. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com denominated. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Hey, Donnie, can you give me one reason to call the advocates?
Sorry, Ken, I can't.
I can. I mean, who fights like we do? You can't give me one reason?
Nope.
How about that we take on big insurance bullies? We're not afraid of any case. We're passionate and smart. Really? You can't come up with one reason?
I can't come up with one, Ken. Because there are 500 million.
All the money we've recovered for our clients. Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Oh, every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by UFCW.
Thanks for staying up with us. Fentanyl is changing the way paramedics and first responders treat drug overdoses in Spokane. They say that while meth and heroin used to be the main cause of an overdose, fentanyl is now taking up the majority. Paramedics say they respond to, on average, about 4 to 5 fentanyl calls per shift and say it makes up about a quarter of the calls they respond to downtown. But they say these calls happen throughout the city. Paramedics say more needs to be done to stop people from repeatedly overdoing or overdosing on this drug.
So now the direction is, how do we keep them from doing it again? How do we treat them from being an addict and repeat the overdose?
While Narcan saves lives, paramedics that have to respond to these calls every day say it's only a temporary fix. After 4 years, the Browns Edition music venue Lucky You Lounge is closing at the end of the month. They will continue to host shows throughout the month, but if you bought a ticket for a show after August, you can head to their website for updates regarding updated show locations and ticket information.
Oh, sad news there. Well, our high temperature today was 82 degrees. 86 is our average high. We'll be right about the same tomorrow, but we're going to miss out on the rain. Only 0.02 of an inch at the airport in Spokane. You may have had more at your house, but most of the region had between a trace and just a few hundredths of an inch. The North Idaho Panhandle, the exception, we're running about, well, more than 3 inches below average, and we'll be clear tonight with overnight lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, high temperatures in the lower 80s. Sunny skies, a little bit of a breeze in the afternoon with gusts to 20 miles per hour. Cold front made its way through earlier today. We are drying out behind this front. A northwesterly flow will keep things cool for Thursday, but that will be quickly replaced by a building ridge of high pressure. A little bit warmer Friday, a little bit warmer Saturday, and a lot warmer as we get into next week. Overnight lows tonight ranging from the 40s all the way to the mid-60s across the region. We'll be in the mid-50s to right around 60 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Thursday's high temperatures primarily in the 80s, but still some 70s on the map, including Sandpoint, St. Mary's, Moscow, and Pullman. 91 tomorrow in Lewiston. We have more 90s on the way. A warming trend takes us into the upper 80s Saturday, the 90s Sunday, and we're going to stay in the 90s through the middle of next week. Dry conditions right on through the 7-day forecast. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Aaron, I've got some great Wildlife Wednesday photos.
I could use some of those. Thank you, Chris. Housing costs are a major burden on a lot of families right now. Spokane's housing organization Take Up the Cause is trying to help some low-income families with a new affordable apartment complex in West Spokane. A total of 58 units are all dedicated to low-income families with children and people who were experiencing homelessness. Take Up the Cause Executive Director Chauncey Jones says this issue is a gateway, or this housing is a gateway for low-income families to keep moving forward.
We can be at the lead of that to start learning how to do it, right? Learning what it means to be in the housing and in the forefront.
Last year, the Department of Commerce put up over $600 million for affordable housing across the state. $10 million awarded to the organization. Department of Commerce says providing wraparound services will be the next step. As inflation backs off decades-high peaks and interest rates drive up the price of loans, many households are just trying to keep up. The New York Federal Reserve says Americans' credit card debt passed the $1 trillion mark in the second quarter. Overall household debt, which includes mortgages, auto loans, and student loans, has climbed $2.9 trillion since the end of 2019, before the pandemic. And higher interest rates, the Federal Reserve's key tool to curb inflation, will make it harder to pay those debts down.
When interest rates rise, the debt that people hold gets more and more expensive, and that's certainly playing a role along with inflation and a few other things.
Matt Scholes, who just heard from, is a chief credit analyst for LendingTree. He says if consumers can, they should make debt payments a priority to protect finances for the future.
When you're in a situation like that, about the best thing you can do is knock down that debt that you have as soon as you can. It's a lot easier said than done when life is so expensive in 2023, but it's a really important thing to do.
The price of orange juice is going up. Analysts say orange juice futures are hitting record highs because of bad weather, a citrus disease, and short supply. Prices usually hover around $1.80 per pound, but futures soared to $3 a pound. Most orange juice comes from Florida, but last year's hurricanes, along with the late freeze, took out a large amount of crops. A disease called citrus greening is also wiping out orange trees. The USDA predicted a decline in production of about 51% this year. Raging wildfires have ignited the island of Maui. That's next on Nightside.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Send them back to school looking and seeing their best. Get premium eyewear and A+ patient care from the experienced team at Shopko Optical. Cross off eye exams on your back-to-school checklist. Schedule their comprehensive exam today.
Spokane's hottest music.
With you, girl. Man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
Summer might not be a vacation for families experiencing homelessness, but while Family Promise teaches parents life skills, kids have the chance to explore and have fun.
Without the routine of school, summer is really challenging for homeless children. With the help of Numerica, kids are able to enjoy lots of fun activities.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Family Promise as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
The new double pepperoni crazy crust pizza is so nice, we pepperonied it twice. With classic and old world pepperoni, sprinkled with toasted cheeses and garlic parm crust you've got to see in slow-mo. Available for $8.99 only at Little Caesars.
Pizza. Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tub starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
This was the scene at a Spokane Valley park Wednesday as maintenance crews were cleaning up spray paint that was discovered over the weekend. It's just the latest instance of graffiti-based vandalism that's hit Spokane Valley parks, and law enforcement is asking the public for help. According to police, this is not the first time people have graffitied this park, leaving maintenance crews to clean up the mess. Devin Galloway is a resident of Spokane Valley, goes to the park a lot with his children. He says as a taxpayer, it's hard to see the damage.
One of the nice things about Spokane is having these parks, and to see that they're attacked like this, that they're not treated very well, and that we have to pay for it, and that the money that we're putting into the city is being just used to clean up people's messes. It's very frustrating.
Also new to the park, a mobile security camera placed by Spokane Valley Police. Law enforcement is reminding everyone that vandalism like this is a crime that comes with a hefty fine. Anyone with information about what happened is urged to call Crime Check. The number's 456.
Time for Wildlife Wednesday photos. We're starting off with this beautiful fawn resting in this gorgeous green grass from Joni Christian. Just a sweet picture and fantastic photography. Nora Chen spotted this wet, grouchy great horned owl. You could tell its feathers are wet, and he's not particularly amused to see Nora, but Nora tells me in that Cooley Dam area they definitely needed the rain, so we'll take it. Allie Ray shared this beautiful picture. Cedar waxwings are just gorgeous, and this one has a snack that he's enjoying. Thank you, Allie, for the beautiful photo. Adorable picture from Shannon Verity down in Tico. She spotted these 3 ground squirrels playing and chirping and having fun, and a couple of them have got spots too. They're unique looking. Dora Z. Davis shared this picture, should say Dora, of a goldfinch eating the sunflower seeds at her house. Washington State bird there, American goldfinch. And finally, since this is the last Wildlife Wednesday with Erin Luna, I wanted to use a raccoon, which I think is the animal that we have bonded over here at 4 News Now. Lots of raccoon stories Erin and I have gathered together, but this particular raccoon, Mary Wilbur spotted at her house. They were foraging for food, and some whitetails came along and scared the raccoons up the tree. So they're scared of deer, they're scared of news anchors, and they like Doritos, I have learned, Erin.
First-hand experience. Just don't go tantalizing the raccoons. You will get a strongly worded email.
Yes, you will. Don't feed the 4 News Now raccoons.
Thanks, Chris. Raging wildfires have ignited the island of Maui, causing state officials to declare an emergency and force evacuations. At least 6 people have died, and more than 1,000 others are sheltering in place. Visitors are being told to leave the island as soon as possible. ABC's Will Carr is on the ground with more.
Devastating wildfires erupting on Maui and the Big Island of Hawaii. Hundreds of homes and businesses destroyed, forcing mass evacuation.
This was a home.
Meteorologist Malika Dudley of our affiliate KITV evacuated along with her family.
There was a red glow outside of our window. The fire was right above our property.
Oh my gosh, look at the harbor.
The scope of the devastation visible from the air, smoke billowing into the sky. Home after home destroyed.
We were not prepared for what we saw. It was heartbreaking. It looked like an area that had been bombed in a war.
In Los Angeles, some passengers abandoning their flight to Maui.
As the news has been breaking, passengers have been demanding to get off this flight. Twice, the pilot has closed the door, and twice he's opened it to let some people off.
Officials say Maui's famous 150-year-old banyan tree, treasured by both locals and tourists, has been destroyed. Some residents reportedly running into the ocean to escape the flames. Lahaina, once the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom, with buildings dating back to the 1700s, ravaged by the fire.
I was the last one off the dock when the firestorm came through the banyan tree and took everything with it. And I just ran out to the beach and I ran south and I just helped everybody I could along the way.
Coast Guard rescuing at least a dozen people from the waters. The state's acting governor issuing an emergency proclamation to all of Maui.
Fires are not completely contained, and there's still fear that the fires would go into different communities.
Will Carr, ABC News, Maui.
Just in time for the new school year, we have a new COVID variant. It's called EG5 variant, and the CDC says it accounts for about 70% of new COVID cases in the U.S. EG5 appears to cause similar symptoms to previous variants. There's no proof yet that the variant is more contagious than previous strains. Scientists believe this new variant is slightly more resistant to the antibodies most of us have, but new vaccines coming out soon are thought to boost immunity against it. Health experts are urging people of all ages to roll up their sleeves and protect themselves and their community with routine vaccinations.
Immunizations protect against severe disease and illness, disability, and even death.
Children and adults are recommended to receive routine vaccinations against tetanus, pneumonia, and the flu. Doctors also warn that unlike many other viruses, the coronavirus is a threat year-round. This is why it's important to stay up to date on your vaccinations. Coming up in sports, how Washington State football is preparing for one final run against its Pac-12 conference rivals.
Later tonight on Nightline, residents describe fleeing the flames on Maui as the death toll rises and some Hawaiian history is destroyed. Plus, the bombshell Lizzo lawsuit. The 3 backup dancers suing the superstar tell their story.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Huckleberry Festival in Trout Creek, Montana.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
$100,000 pyramid is back, and this season is going to be big.
You put this in your ear to clean it out? Pass. I would have guessed harpoon.
I just wet my plant.
I'm just glad they chose that, Michael. Big money, big celebrities, and a big new season.
I got that.
You know what you got?
You got it wrong.
Of the $100,000 pyramid.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team back in action. The Northwest Autism Center is expanding into a new space. All these cubicles have to go. The carpet's got to be removed, and we've got a couple of days to do it. It's coming in August. I'm Mark Peterson. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $5,100 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
When occasional heartburn won't let you sleep, get fast relief with new Tums Plus Heartburn Plus Sleep Support. Love food back and fall asleep faster.
Save thousands on the new revolutionary swim spa at a one-time sale. Friday through Sunday. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation and 1 day only. New 2023 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
I don't see not playing the Apple Cup in Pullman not being the best. I don't see how that would ever be a good decision for Washington State.
Well, if the Apple Cup is to continue, Pullman will need to be a part of it. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minitzo. The future of the Apple Cup rivalry game between Washington State and Washington is in question. Washington leaving the conference has caused tension between the two schools. Over the weekend, University of Washington Athletic Director Jennifer Cohen said both parties are working to keep the Apple Cup game an annual tradition. The Huskies did not commit to playing the rivalry game in Pullman on a regular basis. As you just heard, Washington State Athletic Director Pat Chun said he doesn't expect the Cougars to agree to play in the Apple Cup if the game isn't played in Pullman every other year. Both sides are at odds. Just take a listen.
I've had a chance to talk to Pat Chun yesterday. I think many of you know he's a dear friend of mine, and we're both really committed to this series and committed to the state and all of our fans.
Can you explain what the conversation was like when the University of Washington told you that they were making the decision that they made?
Brief.
Spicy. Chun said scheduling could be a conflict for future Apple Cups.
The Apple Cup is a national game. It is a national rivalry. It's a valued game from a TV property standpoint. So wherever we end up, it's not going to be an emotionally based decision It's going to be based on what's best for Washington State, what's best for our student athletes.
So the Cougars are looking for a new home. Washington State named the Mountain West and American Athletic Conferences as possible landing spots. Both leagues are not expected to provide the same level of revenue as a fully healthy Pac-12. WSU President Kirk Schultz told ESPN there is no plan to cut sports, even facing a budget deficit or crunch that's estimated to be about 40% of the athletic revenue disappearing. Washington State says the collapse of the Pac-12 was due to failed leadership over the years.
Last couple of weeks was a culmination of years of failed leadership, failed vision, failed implementation. It isn't one singular thing that led to the destruction of the Pac-12 as we know it. It was a bunch of decisions and failed strategies that put us in this place.
The Pac-12 lost 2/3 of its schools within the last year. Now, this could be the last time Washington State plays the other Pac-12 schools. USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and Arizona State are all gone after this season. It's why the Cougars are going to make the most of every matchup this fall.
It's not our job to worry about next year, the years prior, or the years before, or anything like that. Our job is to focus on the now. We get to coach the players that we have, right? Their trust is in us. Their parents' trust is in us. So it is our responsibility to give them everything we have every single day, and that's how we savor this moment, right? We live in the now. We prepare for this season and put the best product out on the field we can.
And the Cougars have their first scrimmage of the fall on Saturday. That'll wrap us up for sports.
No Tori's deals and steals are always amazing. Now get this.
Tori, you've done it yet again.
This week, she's popping up live every morning across the nation. Right, Tori?
We're driving in and setting up with the best local deals and steals.
GMA all this week.
You can't miss it.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa. Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
At Kaiser Permanente, we care for all those who make your family, well, your family. That's why all of us work together to give them the care and caring that any family would. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
Start your day with Good Morning Northwest and
Good Morning America.
Feelings, hey, you feel like summer, baby, dancing in the lobby, still catching feelings for you, feels for you, feelings for you, feelings for you. You feel like summer, baby, still catching feelings for you.
Start your day with Good Morning Northwest and
Good Morning America.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
It's going to get hot again. Temperatures in the 90s. Tomorrow, 81. That sounds nice.
Yeah, let's focus on the short term. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Who knows what's going to happen after Friday anyways? Nothing's guaranteed after Friday.
I do.
We'll just have to see what happens Friday night.
It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out this forecast. No, I'm just kidding. It's a ridge of high pressure. The challenges come later in the year.
That's true. We'll see you tomorrow.